But
He said I was from the pygmy tribe.
okay, we got a pygmy guess, possibly. But we did find your ancestry in Africa. We found it in West Africa. We found it in a small country along the coast of West Africa that is bordered by Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea. It's actually one of the least densely populated countries on the continent. In terms of their religious beliefs, they're primarily Christians, but all people, regardless of whether they practice Christianity or Islam, they also retain traditional indigenous beliefs. And another interesting tidbit, as you're waiting for the country and the people, is that the people that you share ancestry with in this country are known for their art and their masks. And in fact, they influenced Picasso and Matisse. So when we see and we learn, we don't learn about the African art. We learn about Picasso and Matisse, right? But all they did was bite our stuff. And what they bit was your people's stuff. You share ancestry with the Fang people living in Gabon today. Congratulations.
Amazing. I'm excited.
So this is Gabon right here. You were in Ghana up here, and Gabon is further south. It's south of Ghana along the coast. So that's your Y chromosome, your paternal ancestry. The other test that he took traces maternal ancestry. We looked at what's called mitochondrial DNA that you inherited, you and your siblings inherited from your mother. So I would like for your mother to please join us up here. She and her siblings got it from your grandmother, who got it from her mother, who got it from her mother, and so on and so on. Again, it doesn't change for generations and generations. So while we all go back to Africa at some point, what we're looking at is just the recent history, just about 500 to 2,000 years ago, to determine where your ancestors were before the slave trade, before Maryland, before Maryland was, before Virginia. And so we found that ancestry in Africa too, on the west coast of Africa, in one of the larger countries on the continent. In fact, while your paternal ancestry comes from one of the least densely populated countries, your maternal ancestry comes from the most populous country in Africa. It's the 5th largest oil trading partner with the United States, so it's a very wealthy country. They practice both Christianity and Islam in the country that you share ancestry with. And one of the people that the people that you share ancestry with in this country are extremely spiritual people. In fact, their spiritual beliefs have been the most pervasive outside of Africa than any other group. And I could give you more clues about that, but I actually brought some of your cousins with me today to welcome you. You share ancestry with the Yoruba people living in Nigeria today. So they're going to come on up and share with you about the Yoruba.
I found you!
This is Kente.
Wow.
When he introduced himself, I said, don't say where you're really from. That's a surprise.
Bless you. Bless you. Thank you. Bless you. Thank you. Good to see you. Bless you. That's my company. You want to come up?
morning, church. This is definitely this is an emotional thing for those of us that are here. This is actually pretty much an impromptu thing. Gina called and he said, wow, I found some family members of you guys. And I would like for you to please come and help us celebrate. She didn't have to say it twice because we are already deeply in the spirit of reconnecting our brothers and sisters back home. Now, in the spirit of doing that, before I go further, I would like for the spirit of the Yoruba culture, as the mother dictates, to please lead us in the way.
Good morning. Okay, I guess the feedback from the speaker there. Good morning, church.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm privileged to be here. This is very exciting for me, as you can see. And we're happy to welcome our brother home. And we are happy to welcome our mother home. Thank you very much for allowing us to be here in the presence. And she says so many good things about the Yoruba people and the Nigerian people. I may want to add a couple of things, apart from being very spiritual people. And some of you have encountered Nigerians because we are all over the place. We are very aggressive. And, we tend to be very passionate in whatever we do, whether good or bad. We're just passionate. And also, we are one of the most enterprising people on the planet. If you really go and Google search, you'll realize that today, as we stand, the richest black man in the world is a Nigerian. I'm talking about black men, period, whether in Americas or Europe or Africa. The richest black woman in the world is not Oprah. It's also a Nigerian woman. Born, bred, raised in Nigeria, presently in Nigeria, and the richest black woman in the world. So don't take my word for it. Go ahead and Google search it and you'll realize that I'm right. So the reason why I'm sharing this to you is you can really see the potential that Africa has, and even people in Africa, no matter how much negativity, how much things that is said, you do have enterprising people, go-getter, and we can tap into those values that our people and our ancestors have in order to be able to move ourselves forward. I think the more we know about our people and how far they can soar, the better it enables us also to be able to maximize our potential. That being said, I'm going to say a few things in oral tradition. You would not understand a lot of things that I say, but let's just feel it and go with the flow with me. This is one of the setback of having these electronic gadgets. Okay, I think I got it. Yes, please. Next time I'll write it on paper. Àti dọ́jọ́ ọjọ́ pé adóṣù oṣù kò. Àti dọ́jọ́ àti dóṣù oṣù kò ọjọ́ pé òní lòní jẹ́ òní lọ́jọ́ ìmọ̀lẹ́bí ṣe bí ọba Olúwa ló bẹ̀ wá lọ́wẹ̀. Wọ́n ní kí ni kínúkún ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ó pa lórí. Wọ́n ní kí àkàlàmàgbò bá ṣe àkàlàmàgbò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ó yọ gẹ̀gẹ̀ lọ́rùn. Wọ́n ní kí ni Dr. Lewis Logan ìbá ṣe ó fọwọ́ ọ̀tún ó fi tọ́ka sí ilé bàbá tó bí lọ́mọ. Wọ́n ní kí ni Florence Logan ìbá ṣe obìnrin wá obìnrin wò obìnrin wàwà wówó ọ̀wàwà wówó onígudugudu méje abíyá ya mẹ́fà. Òní lọ́jọ́ ìmọ̀lẹ́bí ẹ káàbọ̀ sílé bàbá tó bí yín lọ́mọ. Àwa ẹbí ará ojúlùmọ̀ à ń bá yín yọ̀ lọ́jọ́ tòní a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Elédùmarè ọba tó dá gbogbo wa. Èrè kan rèé léwa o. Èrè kan rèé yeye Olúwa ọ̀run èrè kan rè lẹ́wà o. Thank you and welcome to the family. Any word to say?
Once again, thank you so very much for giving us the opportunity for actually witnessing this experience. Now, before we wrap this up, this is something that doesn't normally comes up in the news. But where you're seated, I want all of us to imagine if you're a father, if you're a mother, if you're a brother, if you're a sister. Imagine somebody you loved walk out the door of your home early in the morning and never came back. In that imagination, I want you to think the ancestors that were left there, their feelings, what they think, how they feel, even in their grave as we speak. I don't think they've ever been asleep thinking about you. That is the fact. I know the news media doesn't talk about that. Colonialism has made it where Africans don't really have the opportunity to think about that. But our generation, the generation of us that you see here, are doing something about it. In the last 10 years, in collaboration with some of the stuff that Gina does, we've developed something called African Family Inductions. And every year, we bring a traditional king to reconnect the Africans, the continental Africans, to our African brothers and sisters that have been displaced through slavery in the 4 corners of the earth. It's a pretty big celebration. We do it openly and freely because until the African government get to the point where they decide to open the continent of Africa to all of our brothers and sisters in diaspora, we're doing it one family at a time.